The deputy hands me another stack of HOA violation notices, and I can't help but smile. He shrugs apologetically, like he knows this is ridiculous too. I've gotten so many of these papers I could wallpaper my barn. Let me back up. My family's been farming this land for 40 years. I was here when their subdivision was nothing but cornfield and creek bottom. I watched them clear the trees, pour the foundations, plant their perfect little lawns. When the Hendersons moved into the house closest to my property line, I did what neighbors do. Walked over with a dozen fresh eggs, introduced myself. Sarah Henderson smiled real wide and said they just loved the rustic charm of living next to a working farm. Her husband nodded along, talking about how authentic it all felt. The first complaint came 3 weeks later. The smell, they said. Then it was my rooster crowing at 4 a.m. Then my tractor was too loud when I worked the back 40. Then my hours were unreasonable. The HOA notices started piling up like autumn leaves. $500 fines for agricultural odors. $1,000 for noise violations. My lawyer, Jim Patterson, just chuckled when I showed him the stack. "Don't pay a dime," he said. "Keep farming." But the Hendersons weren't done. They showed up to every HOA meeting with charts and photos. They got other neighbors worked up about property values. Sarah stood at that podium talking about health concerns and quality of life like I was running a chemical plant instead of raising cattle and chickens. The HOA board, all newcomers themselves, voted to threaten a lawsuit if I didn't comply with community standards. I let them file. Been waiting for this fight my whole life, really. Same afternoon they served me papers, Jim filed our Right to Farm Act response. See, the law's crystal clear about this. Agricultural operations established before residential development can't be restricted by HOA rules or nuisance complaints. My farm predates their precious HOA by 38 years. I've got the original deed from 1985. I've got my state agricultural registration. I've got 40 years of tax records showing continuous farming operation. Took about 2 weeks for their own lawyer to explain reality to the HOA board. No case. Significant liability for harassment. The Hendersons went quiet after that meeting. Real quiet. 60 days later, I'm sitting on my porch with my morning coffee when the moving truck pulls up. Sarah won't even look toward my property as they load her designer furniture. Her husband keeps glancing over, maybe thinking about saying something, but he just gets in his car and drives away. The for sale sign comes down that afternoon. I take another sip of coffee and listen to my rooster crow. Some folks just don't understand what they're buying when they move to the country. Some stories stay quiet until they're finally told. If you have a story of your own, visit our profile and send it in. We look forward to hearing from you. Like and subscribe for more stories that nobody admits out loud. Sincerely, Stories.